Welcome back, Reading Rebels. I am Brianna, and this is my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm glad you're here. So today we are going to go over the books that I think will be 5-star reads. Let's get into it. I have a bunch of books, as you know, that are unread on my shelves. And I'm a picky rater. Like, I don't have a whole lot of 5 stars. I used to be very frivolous, free-giving. You get a 5-star, you get a 5-star. I was Oprah with the 5 stars. But now you have to work hard to get a 5-star, I think. But still, it's still all vibes. The older I get and the more that I read, the more discerning, I think is a good word for it, the more discerning I am. But let's talk what I think are going to be 5-star reads for me, hopefully, in the upcoming months, depending on when I get to these. Let's not put a timeline on them. I don't commit like that. Okay. So I have a stack here of 10 books that I think will be 5 stars. Most of them are romance, shocking, and a few of them are fantasy, or one is general fiction. So let's start with that one. And by no surprise of me, that is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have heard mostly fabulous things about this book, and that it will leave you crying. Thank you, Taylor Jenkins Reid. Why you always got to do that, I don't know. But I've heard this is so good. Beautiful sapphic romance. So I highly anticipate that this one will be a 5-star read. I just got to get Sarah and I on the same page. I want to read this together. I need this to be a journey we take together. On to fantasy. I have 3 books, 2 romantasy and 1 just straight up fantasy. Let's start with the one that's straight up fantasy. That is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I already have 2 6-star reads by V.E. Schwab. Miss Victoria is a master with the pen, and the 2, I've only read 2 by her. I have quite a few by her now, but Bury Your Bones in the Midnight Soil I've yapped on about quite a bit this year, and heaven knows how much I've yapped on about Addie LaRue. Both of those are 6-star reads. Vicious and its sequel, I'm really, really hopeful these will be at least 5-star reads. They create like their own superhuman powers, and like one I believe becomes the villain and one is like the hero, so to speak. Just the relationship. Ooh, there's thunder in the distance. I doubt you can hear it, but it's like setting the mood for this book already. It just sounds like it's going to be a good time and full of dark vibes, if you follow me. Yeah, because that makes sense to anyone but me. Okay. Then I have 2 that came out this year, romantasy-wise, that I don't think will be a surprise to anybody if you see that on my list as a hopeful 5-star. First up, Shield of Sparrows by Devoney Perry. Now, I have not had any luck with Devoney Perry. I've read 2 of her Calamity Montana books, like the first 2, and they were bleh. They were insta-love. I hate insta-love. They were good enough for me to finish, and it was okay, but this has a lot of promise also. Hello. I want it to be a 5-star just because it's so pretty. But also, this is like a different genre, a different take, and I'm hopeful that like going down this path, because it just sounds so interesting. She has to marry this man from like treaty-wise, she has to marry this man. And her father wants like her to get intel. Yeah, there's a whole lot to it, but yes, it sounds very good and I'm hopeful. Next up, last up in the romantasy fantasy section, another not surprising one, The Night in the Moth. I have heard freaking amazing things about this book that if this is not a 5-star, I'm going to be so sad because it's so hyped and it's just really, really good already. Like well, from what everybody's saying. And everybody raves about Rachel Gillick. I also still need to read her other duology that came out recently, like in the last couple years. But I want to start with this one before I read that. I've heard that like the romance is really good and that like there's a talking gargoyle that's really funny. And again, a book that is this pretty, if it is not a 5-star, I will be so disappointed. Don't disappoint me. That leaves us with romance. Obviously, my biggest selection of books. That's what this whole bookcase is full of. And I have several books that better be 5 stars. Or else. Or else I'll sell them on Pango. But maybe, for real. Keep a lookout. First, we have Love is a War Song by Danica Nava. This is Native Cowboy. I love this because the cowboy genre, while I do love it, is very whitewashed. And white people, we were not the first cowboys. We are not the only cowboys. So I love to see the diversity. And I have heard that this is really, really good. Oh, you can see a peek of this. But also, I just heard she's a really great author. So I want to read the back. This one sounds really good. Avery Fox's Rolling Stone cover is supposed to be a statement of her success as a Native American pop singer. Instead, it has turned her into a national joke. With threats coming from every direction and her career at a standstill, she escapes to her estranged grandmother Lottie's ranch in Oklahoma. Living on the res is new to Avery. Not only does she have to work in the blazing summer heat to earn her keep, but the man who runs Lottie's horse ranch despises her. Red Fox Ranch has been home to Lucas Iron Eyes. Ooh, Iron Eyes. Since he was 16 years old, and he has lived by 3 rules to keep himself out of trouble. 1, preserve the culture. 2, respect the horses. And 3, stick to himself. When he discovers Lottie's granddaughter is the Avery Fox, he knows she'll bring nothing but trouble. Lucas can't stand what she represents, but when he's forced to work with her on the ranch, he can't get her out of his sight or his head. There's a little bit more, but that's enough for me. The second one that you got a peek of was Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Have I read any of the Elsie Silver books? No. But this one, I have heard teased from the audiobook, which, even though I do have it, I have it because it's signed. I went to an Elsie Silver event earlier this year. You can see that video on my channel. But I'm going to be listening to the audio. And I was told by someone as well that like there are original songs in here that they sing in the audio. And that they're actually really good.
Sun is shining, the lake is sparkling, and there's another fucking tourist on the side of the road trying to get a selfie with a bear. You have to be kidding me. I pull over in front of her Tesla, because of course she drives a Tesla.
The book. I'm sorry, this couldn't wait. Just touching up a little pink. There is an original song. Like, a full song in the audiobook, and it's really good. This whole story is about a woman who is a country music singer, and she kind of escapes her life and goes to this small town, and she falls in love with a cowboy. So happens to be a single dad, and just the best.
So as a chart-topping country singer with a recent streak of bad press, it's hard for Skylar Stone to find any peace, but she finds it in Rose Hill with a little boy and little girl who still her heart just as thoroughly as their dad. Weston Belmont. But we have Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. And as a bonus entry, we also have Practice Makes Perfect, which I'm currently reading, which is why I wasn't technically counting on it. But these two, When in Rome, is one of my absolute favorite books of the year so far. 5 stars, verging on 6 stars. So these two better live up to it. So this is about Annie and Wilbur, Wilton, whatever. She comes up with random names for it, and I think it's so cute. And who is Amelia's bodyguard, and Amelia pulls a funny face, and she's like, he's gonna teach you to date. And of course they start falling for each other. So, and I'm a little bit more than halfway through the book, and so they're falling. They're falling. Emily, who is the eldest sister, I believe, who is like everybody's mom since the parents passed away, and she just is like determined to be caretaker to everyone. Well, she's secretly writing a book and accidentally emails it to one of the administrators. And so her nemesis teacher, they like come up with like this, I guess, a plan to get it back before they see it. But that's what this is about. So, and I guess they're neighbors. Then we have a highly, highly anticipated book that everybody's been dying to get their hands on this fall. If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This was listed on Pango for like 3 minutes, literally, when I bought it. Because this was listed for like $10, and the only one on Pango otherwise was listed for $40 because it was only 1 copy and everybody wants it. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So when I saw this, I was like, you're coming on with me for free because I've sold books. And so this is about Cliff and Michelle. And Michelle inherits her mother's inn after her passing, or something along those lines, because she has like this high-powered job in the city, but she goes to run it until like her sister can take it over. And Cliff is like the single dad next door, grumpy, sunshine, black cat, golden retriever. And like she feels like she can't do anything right, and it's just a hot mess, and she's got like this big promotion waiting for her. And like he's the town golden boy. I didn't realize it was so big, but I want to get to this like as soon as I'm done with Practice Makes Perfect. Truthfully, I don't want to wait on this. This is like perfect fall. Now, I have 2 Emily Henry books left to read. And there's only one that I really wish will be a 5-star. I've never had a 5-star Emily Henry yet. But Book Lovers is the one I'm rooting for. So this is about Nora. And she's this bookish girl, and she feels like she needs like this makeover and wants to take charge of her life, and going to a small town with her sister on this month-long trip, she can change her life, and she wants to meet cute, blah, blah, blah. But what happens is she runs into this surly book editor that she's actually met several times, and he's always been a jerk. And so it doesn't quite go the way she expects. But of course, you know something's going to happen. So come on, Emily Henry. Give me a 5-star read. And lastly, we have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Baston. This is one that sounds like it will rip out my heart and step on it. But that's okay. That doesn't mean it can't be a 5-star. This is about Lenny, whose best friend passes away. But her best friend, before she does so, gives her like this bucket list of like, you're not going to wallow. Your life's not over. Go do these things. And she becomes a nanny. And the uncle of the family, Miles, for whatever reason, is like, I'll help you do this list. And she's like, okay. And so they start to do all the list things together. And of course, I'm assuming something happens when it comes to that. Sarah has read this and has said it was really, really good. I am hopeful that this will be a 5-star read for me. But on that note, those are the 10 books and a bonus on my TBR currently that I am rooting for to be a 5-star. Let me know down below what is on your TBR that you are really, really rooting to be a 5-star read for you. And if you like this video, like this video. And if you like these kind of videos, subscribe, stick around. I would love to have you. And on that note, I'm going to go finish Practice Make Perfect and see if it's a 5-star. Bye, guys.